All right, start off with some general comments. Obviously, it was a huge win to be able to start out 1-0 in the PFL. We talked about this a lot in the context this week of practice as championship game number one, an opportunity to be 1-0 in the league. Talked about really how we had to take ownership as a team. This is our team. This isn't last year's team. This isn't the team of old. You know, the statistics that were being thrown out there, not winning 2 games at home since 2004, not getting back-to-back wins versus 2007, as being, you know, that's not us. You know, we are what we make of ourselves, and really focused on that. I think the team responded with a great week of practice. Coach Moore, the defensive coordinator, put together a great game plan to stop the run, and I think we have to start there. It was a dominating performance. I think it just took us a series or two defensively to kind of ease into our comfort zone and ease into our game plan, but we did a spectacular job of bottling up the run all day long, and that set the tone. Obviously, Kai Hall's turnover in the third quarter was a huge catalyst for our football team there. When you're in a back and forth situation and you're able to get a turnover that I think the confidence that this football team has, we know, and we've preached about it really since day one, about limiting our turnovers and turning the football over on defense. We know, our guys know exactly, we keep tallies, and they understand that every single turnover we have forced through 4 games this year has resulted in a touchdown. Not a field goal, but a touchdown for our football team. You know, either it's the defense, you know, Kellen Hughes returning a touchdown, an interception back for a touchdown, or it's just setting us up for a short field like Kai did today, so we don't have to drive 75 yards to put up points, and that was outstanding. Offensively, you know, Coach Meir put together a great game plan. We did feel like we could win the line of scrimmage again like we did last week to a degree. We knew this was a defense that was very well coached, very multiple, playing with a lot of confidence, and they deserve credit. They did a lot of things, particularly in the first half. We knew they were going to do things that we hadn't seen yet this season. They made some great calls on defense. Coach Meir came back with some great adjustments. And so it was really an interesting game of give and take throughout the football game. And, you know, it was unfortunate. We made a couple of mental errors offensively there in the second half. I really felt like there was a time where there were a couple penalties and just a couple of mental mistakes on really both sides of the ball. You know, blowing a coverage on defense, you know, not blocking the right guy on offense. You know, one poor throw by Ryan there in the fourth quarter that could have blown the game wide open, a deep shot. The penalty, the roughing, the punter, you know, just a freshman mistake by a freshman player who's just trying to make something happen. And we always preach that if you're going to make a mistake, make it full speed. He had an opportunity to block the kick. He was inches away, and it didn't happen. He roughed the kicker. It was the right call by the officials. But we really felt like that, you know, we had a bunch of those fall in a row. And to be able to overcome that, where I think in some of the past games, when you have that type of okay, we had them stopped and they were 3rd or 4th and long, and we give them a new set of downs, and then they go down and score right away, which they did, you know, we would not have the same composure. And I really credit this football team and really the experience of this football team. The fact that, you know, we're not as young, nowhere as young as we were a year ago. Now, we're not old. We're still not a veteran group of guys yet, which is a really good thought when you look long term. To see 3 starters on defense to be out for this game, you know, our captain, our best defensive end, our best cornerback, all not playing the game and be able to respond and have the type of effort and efficiency that we had there on defense. That's a credit to how far this football team has come. You know, whether this is it, if this is the turning point, we hope so. We really do. We feel like now that we're playing with confidence, and hopefully we'll get a couple of these injured players back in the coming weeks, and these younger guys who have played in their absence are there and their confidence level is higher. We feel like we can hopefully use this game as a springboard to really launch us into a very successful league season here.
What was the message defensively after they scored and then you punt the ball away? How do you keep them from, how do you build on that confidence as opposed to getting, oh no, here it goes again, and it just felt like there have been previous times where it snowballed.
Sure.
What was the message to keep that from happening in this particular game?
Well, it comes with the level of confidence. There's not much you can do as a coach if your players aren't playing with confidence. And I think that, how you looked at when they were moving the football, it was not a point of, hey, they were just better than us. They were controlling the line of scrimmage. It was, one guy making one mistake here or there, and, nobody can play a perfect football game, and when it's just one guy here, one guy there, and they're taking advantage of it, the rest of the football team's confident. And that was as confident of a sideline, in a give and take type of a game like that I've seen since I've been here.
And then conversely, how big was that sack on third down? That they had the touchdown pass that was called back, and then just kind of walking through that defensive sequence and eventually culminating with that big sack and forcing a punt.
Yeah, well, number one, we were fortunate. That was one of our, we blew a coverage. We had a corner who was not playing the proper zone coverage, and that was going to kill us, and that was unfortunate. We were very fortunate that they were holding on the play and that penalty was called. But that's another great example of you get to that, you catch a break, and it's not everybody shaking their heads saying, oh my gosh, here we go again, we're finding a way to lose a football game. That may have happened, but this is a different football team. This is a different year, this is a different level of confidence. We have guys who are ready to step up, and they've been in these situations a little bit more. So it just comes down to playing experience. Take a guy like Drew, who, last year as a freshman, we knew he was going to be a very good football player. We saw spurts of that, but we also saw a lot of tentative play, where he wasn't playing as fast because he wasn't as confident in what his assignment was, what he was supposed to do, and to watch how far a guy like Drew has come just in one short year, and to see him playing and flying around and playing at a different speed than he did a year ago. Yeah, he's a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger and a little bit quicker than he was, but it's mostly a mental thing. And we've got a lot of players that are playing with that different level of confidence on defense.
And Drew, what did you see on that play? He wriggled free initially. It looked like he threw it and then got free, and then being there. Just kind of what did you see on that side?
That play, we had a great call. I knew it was going to hit home immediately. The first backer sort of drew the center and the right guard away, and the left guard was out with one of our linemen, so I had an open shoot straight to the quarterback, and I made it there, but unfortunately wasn't able to take him down at first, and then I knew if I held on, the rest of the D-line and the other backer would be there, and they were, so it worked out just fine.
And Coach was talking about confidence. Just what do you guys do to keep from putting your heads down when you give up a big play, then to come right back out there after the offense had punted it away and a chance to take the lead? Kind of what do you build on, and how do you remain confident in a situation like that?
Coach Moore preaches that we play 4 plays and 10 yards at a time. He's got it written on all the boards in our defensive meeting room, so that's just what we do.
And Ryan, what was it like to be back out there after missing a couple?
It felt good. Felt really good to be back at home. And feels even better to win at home.
And how would you assess the way he played today?
Well, he didn't play his best game, but he didn't turn the football over. There was 1 or 2 pass plays that I know he wished he could have back, and as again, that's going to happen to just about every quarterback that's out there. But I was really impressed with how he handled himself through all 4 quarters, how he managed the game. It was our first game that we played all season without a turnover, an interception, and Ryan in that last drive. It's great as a head coach to turn and know that you have confidence in your quarterback to start with the ball deep in our own end zone, knowing if we put together 3 or 4 first downs that this football game's over. Davidson was out of timeouts, and to start a drive to say the football game is in your hands, and we gave him freedom. So that first play, the pass he threw to Shea, I think probably everybody in the stadium was thinking, well, Valpo's going to run the football here to try to run out the clock. They had called a defense, a corner blitz that was going to stop the run play that we had called, but we give permission on that play. That's a play that Ryan knows. He has the freedom to change. He recognized it. He got us in a pass play that's a low-risk pass play, made the right decision, made the right throw, and that really was the catalyst there on us, starting 2nd and 2 as opposed to 2nd and 10, which we would have if we just would have called a sweep and the corner would have blitzed and taken it away. So I really give credit. I mean, it's a wonderful feeling as a head coach to know that you can put that type of independence and freedom in your quarterback and to make the right call at the right time. He did a great job of managing the clock all day long, we always talk as coaching the quarterbacks. We talk about it's your number one job is to win the football game, not throw for 400 yards, not throw for 5 touchdowns. It's to win, and I think Ryan was the epitome. He did just that today.
And Ryan, is there a sense Coach was talking about the confidence when the defense came out? Then after they get that stop, do you guys feel like, do you feel a renewed sense of confidence? All right, we're going to just run out the clock here?
Absolutely. And especially with the run game all day, our offensive line blocked beautifully. We haven't had a running performance like that all year. And I think even when you look at the tailbacks and the receivers is they have more confidence as well as, we can go out, okay, we're going to run something and we're going to get 4 or 5 yards a clip. And then, whenever we have someone like Boxer come in here and, get us first downs when we need it, get us touchdowns when we need it. As long as we get the ball, we're excited. And whenever the defense can stop the opposing offense, we know we're ready to go.
What kind of rushing tandem do he and Morgan make up? I mean, he only had 5 carries, but 2 of them went for touchdowns. 2 of them picked up big first downs.
I think it's a nice little lightning and thunder type of combination. Jarrett's a little faster. Sorry. but I mean, Jarrett get out on the edge and make a cut. But if we give Boxer the ball, we know he's going to get the 2-3 yards we need him to. Like when we were in the red zone, I think we were on the 3-yard line. Push his way in a group of 5-6 guys. Even when we have a guy like Kyle Callison who will go in and he's similar to Jarrett, get 5-6 yards at a clip, and that's just huge for our offense.
And Cody, being a freshman, what's it like, in those big time situations when your number gets called, either when you're down close to the goal line or on that 4th and 1 play or on that final drive when it's 3rd and a little bit, just when your number is called, just what are the emotions and what does it feel like to pick up the first down in the end zone?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I know my job. I know I'm a short yardage back. I'm prepared to go into those situations, and I'm coached about it. I know what I got to do, and my job is just to get the first down. So I just lower my head, lower my shoulders, and just try to get the first down every time in the game.
Did Ryan have to do any lobbying to get you to go for it on 4th down? Was the plan to go for it on that 4th and 1 when Box picks up the first down?
No, there was some talk. We had thought, we had such a great kicking performance out of Jake Simpson week 1 where he hit the 2 long field goals. So we had some discussion. He missed the 1 field goal early on, but hit his 2nd one. The first kick, he didn't hit it cleanly. He was dead straight down the middle and just fell maybe 2 yards short. He's got a leg, he can make those types of kicks. But when we get in a situation where we really, the level of confidence that our offensive line had given us in controlling the line of scrimmage, we just felt, there wasn't a whole lot of thought about it when we needed 1.5 yards. We felt like we had a great short yardage game plan, and we were pretty close to 100% efficient, I believe, on all of those short yardage or goal line situations where the opposing team knows we're going to run the football, and yet you're still able to do it successfully. So there was a little bit of discussion. Coach Mirren was all for going for it, and those people that follow us over the last couple of years know that we are not afraid to go for it on 4th down, and we had a lot of confidence in our offense today to do just that.
Drew, you held them to 3 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. They didn't convert 3rd down until late in the 3rd quarter. What was the key to forcing those stops and bringing their punter on the field?
It's just doing our job. Coach makes the calls. He knows. We all know. We put in countless hours of film study, especially Coach Moore, who's making the calls. He knows almost exactly what they're going to do on 3rd downs, and he puts us in a great call to do it. And then we just got to go out and execute. And
then conversely, Coach, the offensive guys, you guys were 7 of 15 on 3rd down. What was successful and let you guys pick up this first down, move the sticks, and keep the clock going?
Yeah, it was a challenge. We were in a lot of different down and distances. We were in some third and really longs. We were in a lot of third and mediums and third and shorts, and Davidson really threw the kitchen sink at us. We got just about every possible defense and blitz and look, and they were changing things up constantly. So again, it comes down to really a chess match there. Coach Mirren, we had a very diverse third down game plan, but the bottom line, it comes down to players executing plays, and for the most part, we did that today.